The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, my name is Leo Connors, and welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. Tonight, my very special guest is my buddy, Dave Fournier.
Leo,
Dave,
glad to be back. It's been a while.
It's been a while, Dave. We're going off the cuff. We're just going to talk about a bunch of cool things. I mean, we wrote little things down, but first and foremost, Tom Brady came into Foxborough last night with his new team and beat the Patriots 19-17. And the Patriots almost won that
Almost
game.
2-point difference. It was a lot closer than I think any of us expected it to be.
Yeah, Nick Folk missed a 56-yard field goal. He was like literally this close to winning the game and hit the upright. And Tom Brady came in and stole a game.
Without a doubt. But, I thought it was class the way they paid tribute to him.
Yes.
Something I don't think anybody's really expecting.
Right. Well, I mean, everything I've ever watched, like in sports, usually when a legend leaves the city, when they come back, they usually do try and do something nice. As I showed you what the Pittsburgh Penguins did for Marc-Andre Fleury, a guy that helped them win. He's another winner. 3 Stanley Cups, Wow. But yeah, I just don't understand how some people can't I don't know. For me, I'm a Tom Brady fan. All the things he's done for me as a New England Patriots fan. Whenever he plays New England, I want him to lose. But any other game he plays, and this is just me, I want him to win.
Understand.
Other guys are upset at him that he didn't take less money and all these other things. But it is what it is. And I support him only because he gave me everything he had for 20 years.
I mean, you can't erase what he did.
Right.
And I know I was one of those people that
Oh,
when he
you
left,
are one of them.
I've kind of softened a little bit on that. I think for me, it was the fact that he swore up and down he wasn't leaving, and then he left anyhow. That was kind of where it soured me on him.
I think a lot of other people were soured on him because, he made $30 million. He left and made $30 million. But it kills me is, what? Is he not supposed to make money? Is he not supposed to ask for a big contract at the end of his career? Every other athlete does.
Absolutely.
Every athlete, most, except for Big Z, because he's working for under $1 million every year now. And the Bruins still can't find 6 great defensemen. He's back with the Islanders now.
Yeah.
But so listen.
Do you think this is Brady's last year?
Nope. No way.
Seems to be
a
lot of talk about that today.
No, and guess what? He's going to win another Super Bowl this year. You heard it here on The Ring and All Other Sports as I tell my buddy Dave that Tom Brady is going to win the Super Bowl again this year. Today is October 4th, 2021.
So come February,
you guys could all tell everybody that Leo told you. I hope so. That's just me.
I don't think we're going to see the Patriots there this year, unfortunately.
No, I don't think so either. But I still root for the Patriots if they play Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
Any other team Tom Brady plays, I root for Tom Brady. Guys, speaking of old guys and older veterans, a couple weeks ago at Atlantic Pro Wrestling, there was a retirement match. Seth Theron got in the ring with his mentor and great friend, the fabulous Johnny Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas. Dave, I know you wish you could have been there, but you were at work.
Yeah,
I know that.
My work schedule has kind of made me miss some shows as of late. Hopefully that'll be changing soon. And this is the one show I would have liked to have been at.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, you've known Johnny forever.
Long time. Back to his days
he's such a veteran.
His days up here in New Hampshire, Nashua, Hudson, Lions Hall.
Yep.
For, Jeff Coster. And
yeah, it was a great show. One of the biggest things I thought was really funny about it was when they're in the ring before the match started, and Johnny Vegas took the microphone, and he was a heel. They even brought Marshall McNeil with them, the manager. Wow. It was awesome. And he told that the referee that was in the ring was Tony Stevens, who me and Damon Farah got to see him referee an NWA World Title match
We did. Yes.
down in
did.
North Carolina.
Yes.
It was awesome. It really was. But here he is, and Johnny Vegas says, "Hit the bricks, kid. You're not working my match."
Who was the referee?
They brought in special guest referee strutting Sonny Goodspeed. I don't know if he was really strutting. He came into shop dressed man, and he had a t-shirt and shorts on. He would have had flip-flops on if Johnny Vegas would have let him. But he told him he was told to wear his sneakers.
That wouldn't have been Sonny, though.
I was with Sonny last week. We went to see Tesla.
Yes.
I got to tell you a funny story. I'm sitting at the table, right? I'm asking everybody if they need a drink, because I needed a drink. And Betty says, points to Sonny, she picks up a Coke. And I say, all right, I got it. I go to the bar. I order. I come back. What do I have? 2 beers, no Coke. Maria says to me after the show, she says, you have the absolute worst memory of anybody I've ever met. In 40 steps in 3 minutes, you couldn't remember one thing. You knew what you wanted. You couldn't even remember to get a Coke. I was pretty drunk that night.
Your mind was elsewhere.
Yeah, it was. I'm actually going out with Sunday Thursday. I'm going to see Blue October.
Funny Sonny Goodspeed story real
Yes.
quick. I know it's off subject, but I remember the first few times I saw Sonny Goodspeed wrestle, and it was probably more time he spent outside the ring than he did in the ring.
Oh, yeah. And did he bump?
Maybe once.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe.
Once, yeah. He told them that he was only going down, like when they go for the finish, it's got to be 1, 2, 3. None of this false finish stuff, which I thought was funny. When the night was over, I said to him, they made you work. He's like, yeah, made me get up and down a bunch of times. But Johnny Vegas, congratulations.
Yes.
Enjoy your retirement, whatever you plan on doing. Maybe you can come on this show again one time. Again, I'd love to have you. Maybe if me and Sonny ever get the cooking show, the Dropkick Kitchen back going again, maybe you could come on that too. I don't know. It's up to you.
What was great too is everybody showed up. I mean, there were people you would have never expected to be there.
Guys, Brian Fury was there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Brian Fury came out to see him. There was a lot of people that came out to see him. Do you remember other people that were there? Yeah, I know you weren't there.
I know Maverick Wild was there.
Maverick Wild was there. Sonny was there. Marshall McNeil was there. Dale, Mav's wife, was there. It was a hell of a show. Oh, there was a little somebody there.
Who was this?
A guy, he won this thing called the NXT
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
NXT's Carmelo Hayes was there. And I'm going to remember now to tell Dick to put it in at this point, because I just looked it up. Look at that.
There we
For
go.
the first time, I don't have to look things up. I did it on the fly.
And I heard he was fantastic with everybody there.
Dude, he was so cool. I mean, he had to stay in the back. He asked me for, he asked me what I had for food. I told him, we went to give me some money. I'm like, no, your money's no good here, kid. Your money's no good here. You're a superstar now. No, I didn't say that to him. But I made sure to grab a picture with him.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Because I never know when I'm going to see him again.
You
But
know?
I was working in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I come walking over to the counter, and there he's walking up to me. I was like, wow, that was just so cool. Very nice surprise.
Very nice surprise. And it shows you, I don't think people realize how much Johnny Vegas has had an influence on the New England wrestling scene.
Yeah, a lot of people. And Amato did, Setherin, did say that. Everybody spoke and stuff. Marshall didn't speak. He should have, though. Would have been, Marshall could have, said some nice things, too.
I think in that case, I know he doesn't want to, he likes to stay in character.
Yeah.
But I think in this case, it might have been
Right.
that one time you can break that rule.
Yeah. And like I said, it was really awesome to see, because I had met Marshall just for the first time at Sunny's house a couple weeks prior.
I can talk.
Oh, man, he's good. Did you ever see him do, there's a video Rich I think posted, Rich Palladino, of him doing the King Curtis, Ikea.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
man,
have to
it
check this
sounds
out.
just like him. It was crazy. And also, he's got me back into smoking cigars again. He gave me a cigar that night, and I've been smoking cigars again. I gave up the butts.
Went to the cigars.
Went to the cigars. All right. So that night, though, the APW show, that was a great show. The next show is October 16th.
Coming right up, right around the
Coming
corner.
right up. I know this because I will be there doing the concessions as I am at all their shows with my wrestling mystery box I raffle off every time. Dave, you got to get there soon.
I'll be back.
You
Just
know?
trying to get through that 90-day period
I
at,
hear
at
ya.
the new job. And
Right, and then ask for certain
then I
days
can
off.
kind of start to ask when, for time. I'll have time to take.
Yep. That's awesome.
It's just kind of getting through that, the end of October, and then I'll be at the 90 days. So
Nice. Well, and another show has just been brought up. Pat Dillon's got a UFO show coming up.
big show, Monster Mash.
Yes.
October 30th.
And where is that, Dave?
South Boston, Massachusetts. It's at the Pop Warner Field. Going to be a huge event.
You told me they've announced 3 matches.
Three matches. The biggest one that he announced first was the Monster Mash Battle Royal.
Nice.
Which he does this every year.
Yes.
And you never know who's going to enter this thing.
Yeah,
you could be in it for all I know.
Did not Kevin Quinn won one year?
Yes, he did.
Right? Oh, was that the turkey one?
That I think was the turkey one.
Yeah,
Yes.
because Susanna won that too. Oh. What did I say? Savannah Lord.
Okay.
Savannah
Savannah
Lord.
sounds so close to Susanna.
Yeah. She won.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of different. I don't know if this is in place of the turkey.
Right. Yeah,
Because
because I don't know. Now you said it's October what?
30th.
30th.
So just
the
before
day
Halloween.
before Halloween.
It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon outside.
Oh, nice.
And I think there's other stuff going on that day in South Boston. Part of I can't remember the name. My apologies for
Even
that.
if you're working, you'll be able to go for
That
an
one-
hour and a
yeah.
half.
Right?
Right?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's
Absolutely.
cool, at least.
Absolutely.
Afternoon shows are fun.
Always fun, especially on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Hopefully the weather holds out.
And he's done those shows before.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I think before the pandemic, he ran a show down right off of like the Parkway or whatever. But it was awesome. A great lot of guys there. Jack, Irish Jack,
Okay.
Pat, my old co-host Derek Duke's old roommate, Irish Jack was there.
Irish
I
Jack.
got to meet him. Irish Jack looks like a real pro wrestler, man. He's a big dude.
Nice.
Like, kind of reminded me of LA Knight, Eli Drake, what they were called. Both like the same size. Got a career. The guy's pretty charismatic.
I have not had a chance to see him, so hopefully he'll.
I only seen him that one time. But he looks like a good pro wrestler, I'll tell you that. He wrestled that day he wrestled, he did a good job.
Now, Leo,
Yeah.
do you know who's going to be there making special appearance at these shows?
At the UFO show?
Yes.
And what about the APW show? Is there someone going to be there too?
No, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people there.
Oh, yeah. But I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes, I knew you'd be excited about this.
It's not Mickey Ward,
No.
but I'm just as excited as if it was, because it's the Hurricane, Peter McNeely.
Absolutely.
That's going to be awesome.
That's going to be.
I've met him
big
before. He's a great guy. He really is. I'm gonna call him out right here. This guy, not Dan's brother. Dan's brother Bobby. I think he just got married. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Bobby.
Congratulations. If I were you, I'd stay away from the UFO show. Because he said to me one time that Peter McNeely was a joke.
Ooh.
And I said,
Yeah,
did
Bobby.
you watch the fight? No, really though, did you watch the fight? Because the bell rang, right? And I know I watched the fight. He ran right after Mike Tyson. The fight was over in the first round. The fight would be over in the first round for you, Bobby, for me.
Absolutely.
For the three of us at once,
That's
the
that
fight
time.
would be over in one round. If we
No doubt.
triple team Tyson, he'd kill us all.
Absolutely.
But you can't say it was a joke, man. It gets me mad because that's the last thing he did. Michael Spinks was an Olympic boxer, right?
Yes.
That guy was petrified. The bell rang and he went, and it was over in like a minute or two.
Yep.
Peter and Tyson was over in a few minutes too.
Everybody was going down to Tyson in a few minutes
Exactly.
back then.
But you cannot tell me, you can't put him down for that.
No.
He went right after the baddest man on the planet at the time. By far. No one was as, am I wrong?
No, nobody was courageous
His
enough.
first fight out of prison. You knew he was going to be angry.
Oh, yes.
No matter what.
Absolutely.
So, Bobby, I called you out on it on Facebook, and I'm telling you now, man, don't go
Yeah, I know.
to the UFO show.
We want everyone else to come, but Bobby,
Yes.
you might want to sit this one out.
Everybody else needs to come. Everybody.
He can send his brother Dan, and he can.
Yeah, Dan can come, Mike, Tim, but Bobby, stay home, dude.
Absolutely.
because I'm going to rat you out if I. No, I'm just kidding. I love Bob. He's a good guy.
He is.
But if Peter grabs me by like the back of my neck and says, "Show me who that kid is," you're in big trouble, Bobby.
Yes, he is.
Because I'm not going to say no to the hurricane. All right. Was there anybody else that's going to be there?
There is somebody else there.
Awesome.
Former WWE superstar. I'll give you a hint, Leo.
No way. Bushwhacker Luke.
Yes, Bushwhacker Luke making a rare appearance. We did see him about a year ago at the New World Wrestling Extreme Show down in Rhode Island. Now he'll be coming to Boston.
I actually saw him a couple of years ago at Lucky Pro Wrestling.
Oh, wow. So,
And he was really nice to Jizea. And that was the first time I met Mr. Carmelo Hayes. That was the first time I met him. Yeah, and Sonny set me up with Todd Sopel, and look how good that turned out. Thanks, Sonny.
I'm going to refrain from commenting on that.
God. I didn't write them down, but just bringing that up totally made me think of something that we talked about the other day, me and you.
Okay.
The world's worst pro wrestler, the Skunk. And somebody came back and said that Dave Donovan came back and said, no, that's Barry Ace. And I said, no, that's number 2. Barry Ace is number 2. But the Skunk's the worst wrestler in the world, and dead Barry Ace.
So Skunk's number 1 and Barry Ace is number 2.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Really,
use your own innuendos there.
Yeah. I mean, if you know both those guys, you know they're right there.
I mean, I think Skunk is probably not even so much just professional wrestler, but one of the worst people.
Yes, and I'm sorry to say,
I don't like to come on the show and cut anybody up.
But Barry Ace isn't like that. He's just a bad wrestler.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's nothing like the person that the Skunk is, because he's not. He's not. I just don't think he's very good in the ring. That's all.
Absolutely.
No offense, Barry.
But yeah, I mean, from the day I met the Skunk on a Jeff Costa show when he was actually a referee to when he went to Chaotic Wrestling.
That's the first time I saw him was he was a ref.
To when he went to Chaotic Wrestling.
Dude, I was blown away that Chaotic used him. But then again, that was the old Chaotic.
But that was before everything kind of came to light about him. It kind of started while he was there.
Right.
You know, he had his cable access show down in Marlboro, and he was, caught doing a lot of stuff that just real, and just seeing him. Quick story about him was he actually came,
Take your time telling the story. We got 40 minutes.
When I used to do my own cable access show, I actually had him come to the studio as a guest.
Oh, no.
That was mistake number 1, but he showed up, and of course, the people work at the studio there, so there's a buzzer to ring to come in the door.
Let him right in.
And he walks in, but he doesn't come dressed in like jeans, or he's in his wrestling trunks, no shirt, and his spiked up skunk hairdo. And the lady's just like, I think this must be for you because this guy's in his underwear. Yeah. But he tried he was not nice to anybody while he was there. It was
He's an idiot.
That's my first time that I realized he was not a very nice person.
Right.
And then things came out that really proved, with arrests and,
I hope someone shows the Skunk this so he can come after me and Dave.
I don't even know where he is, if he's even alive still, to be honest. I know Maverick Wild's a big fan of his.
Huge fan. No, actually, speaking of that, I know that there's a wrestler that saved the Skunk's life one night. Tarzan.
Oh, wow.
Tarzan Taylor, Matt Spectro, saved his life one night because Matt was going to kill him. And I think Tarzan said, you don't want to go to jail over this guy.
No, not worth it. I think Mav told that story on this very show.
Yes. And he said when I shared that thing a year ago, when I made that post, that just came up, and that's why it didn't have the magic the second time around. Nobody really cared about it, but I got over 100 comments on the first one. I think I got 3 comments on this one, so I think everybody's a little skunked out.
I think so. I mean, and he wasn't outside of the ring is where I feel like he was the bad person. He had a character that legitimately worked. He had that charisma about him that he could definitely pull it off. It's just the way he acted outside, outside of the ring and handled himself,
Didn't he punch an old lady?
He punched an old lady. I think he was arrested for urinating outside the cable access studio when he had
I'm sure they have a perfectly good bathroom like we have here at the Access Nashville studio.
I mean, just total, I don't know.
Wow, Dave.
professional wrestling, you meet all kinds of people. You know?
Absolutely.
And I try never to judge anybody.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard not to judge.
It's hard not
that
to.
guy.
But that guy was just one guy that, you know,
Yeah.
just you couldn't
Right.
ever just had no respect for him after being
Yeah.
around him.
I can't believe you had him on your show.
Yeah, it was at a time when
hear
I
you.
was, you know,
Yeah, you
interviewing
didn't know.
anybody and everybody. You
Yeah,
know?
nobody knew, right? Nobody
No.
knew how bad he was. Like you said, everything came out later.
And when the cameras were on, he was perfectly fine. It's
right.
when the cameras are off, it
Yeah,
just
he just
like,
acts like an odd
yeah,
person,
you know,
huh?
just very,
Very odd.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, we got 37 minutes.
And not that I'm not, you know, we're all odd in our own way,
Oh,
but
yeah.
this was just,
I'm definitely a weirdo.
I don't like to say this, but this was like scumbag odd.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything that I've read about him, he's Holyoke. He's like Holyoke, who's another not a good person.
No.
Which leads us right into the segue of we're going to talk about referees.
Yes.
And the first one we're going to talk about is Holyoke Joe, the guy that tried to scam insurance company. His friend died.
Yep, I
Right?
remember that. You know.
His friend died trying to do a fake accident. And probably the stupidest thing he's ever done is put a Hulk Hogan tattoo on his back.
Remember that?
That has to be the dumbest thing that you did, Holyoke Joe.
Got him on pay-per-view though.
Got you on pay-per-view. You know, I really don't care. Like after Joel Davis said me and Sonny, I don't really care anymore. If you're a scumbag, and I'm not saying Joel Davis is, because I'm only saying that because I got heat from that. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's the only reason I got no problem with Joel Davis. I don't. But Holyoke Joe, I don't know you very well, but the shit you pull, you're a scumbag.
You know, I knew him over the years at different shows when I was helping out with the
Yeah.
television production at Big Time Wrestling. He was one of their referees. His mother was the sweetest lady,
Right.
but I've now heard that she was also involved in some of this stuff. So
Really?
that's what I've heard. I don't
Right,
know what's
right,
true
right.
and what's not, so I don't want to speculate. But
Yeah. Not nice people. This,
No.
you know?
you just they did a good job at hiding it. Whatever they, you know.
A lot of people did. Then there was another referee that with the speaking out thing came out and everybody deleted him.
Yeah,
I know his name too.
I can't think. I know who you mean too, but I can't.
Rob Tuttle.
Yeah, oh, yes.
Sorry, bud, but you know.
Another guy that I had known for years.
Yeah.
And,
Good ref.
you know, he used to be a
Good
chaos-
ref?
Yeah, he was a good ref. He started out doing ring crew.
Yeah.
We used to do
Holyoke wasn't a bad ref either
No.
when I first met him.
Holyoke for his size was a good referee
Yeah.
for somebody of that size.
Yeah, absolutely.
And same thing with Rob. you
Yep.
know, somebody, you know, but
You don't know everybody, man.
no.
And Charlie Pride said it best. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
You do not.
You have absolutely no idea unless you live in that house.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's, you know,
All right. So, like I said, we're going to talk about some refs.
all right. As long as it's not Rob Tuttle and Holyoke
Yeah,
Joe.
we're not going to talk anymore about Holyoke Joe or Rob Tuttle, or is there any other scumbaggy referees? Well, the skunk was a referee.
The skunk
you said,
was a
too.
referee,
So, all right,
you
so
know.
we got rid of the three. I want to talk about one that's not around here anymore. And unfortunately, he wasn't talked about very nicely by Mav and Sonny.
Who's this?
One of my favorite guys to watch ref a match, Dan Tanaka.
I think Tanaka was more a distraction to people.
Because of the ponytail?
Yes.
Okay.
And I
He
think
was a good ref, though, I thought.
he wasn't a bad ref, but I
Yeah.
think the whole thing is the ref is kind of supposed to be more there to blend into the match and not kind of
You're
take
not
away
supposed
from
to
the match.
notice him.
Yes. And he was somebody because of the ponytail,
Right.
being Asian,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
using the name
Yeah.
Tanaka, it just automatically, he became more attention than some of the wrestlers.
So he
sometimes.
probably got some heat from some guys.
That's my
probably.
guess.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, I don't know the whole
but
story why they
but
don't like it.
how you just explain that though makes complete
Yes.
sense. You know what I mean? It's not like, yeah, all right. How about we brought him up earlier and it wasn't really that nice because of what Johnny Vegas said to him. He kicked him out of the ring. But Tony Stevens, Tony S.
He gets himself up. I mean, we saw him down in New Jersey for the ECWA Super
Yes.
8. I was surprised to see him there.
I was surprised to see him there when we showed up for the show.
Yes.
To watch Mr. Ooh La La win.
absolutely.
And finally get to see a Super 8 of a tournament I've wanted to go to forever.
It was one that I had always said, heard about every year.
Yep.
Wanted to go to, and
It was a good time.
it was a great show.
We had a really, really good
Definitely
time.
something, if you're able to go next year, people, I suggest,
Yeah.
it's not that far of a drive.
Yeah,
You get
definitely.
a group of people to go and you're good.
Support indie wrestling no matter where you are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. ECWA runs in New Jersey now.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Morgansville, New Jersey.
Morgansville, New Jersey. Okay. How about let's go with one that's very active around here, and he's in better shape than a lot of wrestlers. Can you guess who that is?
I'm going to guess Kevin Quinn.
Yes, Kevin Quinn. Ding ding.
That's
Where-
probably one of my favorite referees right now on the New England independent
He's one of
scene.
my favorites too. Definitely.
He does a great job.
Yes.
He's always out there, like you said, in great shape.
Yep.
Sometimes looks a little bit too in shape compared to some of the other wrestlers he's refereeing for.
Did you know he wrestled?
I've heard I knew he was
made a
training.
post the other day. He was a conquistador and a tag team champion in Canada. And his partner had a
that's
hood
right.
on, but he looked familiar. Kid. I'm not going to say who it is, but I think it was him, kid.
It was me, brother. It was
Yeah,
me.
it was me, brother. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Is that cool? Did
That-
you know that? I didn't know it until I saw the picture.
I do remember seeing the post, and it makes sense. He's got
Right.
the physique.
Oh, absolutely. And hid underneath that hood.
Yes.
That was pretty cool when I saw that.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And
really,
he's refereed for, Beyond, Chaotic.
he started out for NCW.
Yep.
I mean, he's
Is
been.
that where he started?
That's where I first saw him referee. He
Okay.
actually was coming to the shows and sitting
As a fan,
as a
right?
fan.
Doing push-ups in between matches,
Yes,
I heard.
yes, he was.
He told me
And-
that I wouldn't have liked him as a fan because he was obnoxious.
He was very obnoxious. Yes, I actually knew Kevin Quinn. He used to watch my cable access show because it aired in the city that he lives in.
Woobit.
Yes, and
Yes.
he actually reached out to some people that were at the studio that did another show that he was neighbors with.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was funny because I had met him back then, and then all those years later, he came up to me and he's like, "Do you remember me?" And I felt horrible because I had no clue
Right.
who it
I'm
was
really bad
until he
with that,
introduced
too.
me. He
Yeah.
also, back when I first met him, I don't think the head was bald when the first time I met him, so it was kind of a little different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kevin's a great guy.
Great guy.
Great ref.
Great guy, great ref.
Great ref.
For somebody, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but somebody at his age, it's
Yeah.
great that he's able to be out there and
Yeah, whoa.
Beating the odds.
Slow down, man. I think Kevin's my age. He might even be younger than me. What are you talking about? At that age.
well,
Dave.
I'm right there behind you guys, so I'm just saying it's not normal for somebody, especially on the independent
No, I
scene,
hear.
to be
I'm just
refereeing.
teasing.
I mean, it used to be pretty common if you think back to like the territory days. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
like Bronco Lubitsch in World
Yeah.
Class. I mean, he was probably about 70.
Yeah.
Dick Worley.
And Bronco Lubitsch was a heavyweight wrestler too. He was a
That's
big
right.
guy. I mean, not just like,
Yeah.
like in shape. Or I don't know if Bronco was in that good of shape when he
No,
was in his
I used
70s.
I used to hate when he did the count because
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
went down, he never got all the way down.
So right.
But he was still better than, and I know this is getting off top of New England,
It's
but
all right.
the worst referee in my entire lifetime has to be Gilbert Romaine.
Oh, yeah. He was not too
Yeah.
good.
And I mean, towards the end of his
Yeah.
career, Gorilla Monsoon, when they used to do those Madison Square Garden
Oh,
shows
he
on
would
TV,
put him down all the
he used
time.
to cut him up so
He's
bad.
the worst.
And he was the worst.
He
That was the sad part.
worst. Yeah. Trying to think of some of the. Dick Worley was in great shape.
Yes.
Who else was some of the good old refs?
Dick Worley, Dick Kroll.
Dick Kroll, that's another one. Now there's a guy that I think he worked for Troop one night, and he used to oh man, I want to say his name was Billy Capano.
Okay.
Is that
That might
that
be
ring
his
a
name.
bell?
It sounds pretty
he
familiar.
did a lot of work in New York and stuff in Connecticut, Rhode Island for the WWE.
Okay.
Back in the, I want to say the 70s and
70s.
80s, Hogan era too, Yeah, Billy Capano, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
was
That
his
sounds might like that could be.
Yeah, and then there was other great refs from other territories, but we'll go back to this because we got plenty of time.
Yeah.
I mean, Tommy Young.
That was my favorite referee. He was one of the best.
Yep. NWA.
Yes.
Down in Florida, Bill Alfonso.
Bill Alfonso, who everybody knows from ECW
Yep.
days.
Rick Manning in Dallas.
Absolutely.
Right? Who was the other ref that? No, what Rick Hazard's David Manning.
Yes, David
That's
Manning.
what David
Rick Hazard
Manning-
and David Manning.
Yeah,
yes.
I combined them together.
David Manning had a lot to do with the booking down there too.
Yes, he did. And also, I remember hearing that, I think he was the first person that after hearing, a reading about David Von Erich, The first time I saw it like on a documentary, the first person that talked about his death that I saw was David Manning.
Yes.
And because he's the one that took the phone call. It was either him or Rick Hazzard. Now
yes.
I can't remember. But I think it was David Manning. And he took the phone call and had to literally drive another hour to Fritz's house to tell him about his son, man.
I mean, we could do a whole show on that whole situation.
That's crazy, right?
That was a sad.
Very,
that
very
family
sad.
had a really tough.
Yeah. But let's get back to more referees. Let's see what we come up with
thinking of
anymore.
like territories and stuff. One of the referees who I always thought was really good is Freddie Spada.
Yes.
He was really good. You know,
he was a WWF referee
Yes.
and a WWF.
Yes, he was there during the Hogan era.
Yeah, and before, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I think we're forgetting probably one of the most famous referees, WWF, Danny Davis.
Danny Davis, a New England
Yes.
legend,
Absolutely.
Hall of Famer.
That's right.
You know, Danny Davis, he was definitely a good not a bad wrestler. People want to say that he was pretty good
Yes.
because he had to make himself look like he wasn't that good.
Yes.
Seriously, and he was a good worker.
He was a great. I mean, people don't know he when he was doing the refereeing, he used to referee at the TV tapings. Plus, he would wrestle as Mr. X under the mask throughout the TV tapings as well.
Right.
You know? So
that's pretty cool.
And then one more from the big times.
Yeah.
Actually, really goes back to New England wrestling because he started out here was Scott Dickinson, who later went on to WCW days.
Yep. Who I had words with one. He told me to go.
Did he really?
Yeah, and I said, "You go," and that was it. Yeah, we both would just say, "Hey." We wouldn't say the word. We actually said the word, but we won't say the word.
Won't say it here.
No, because I want to stay on the air for a little bit more longer.
You don't want Dick to have to do any more editing than he needs to.
No. I definitely don't. I'm trying to think though. Jim Ross was a referee.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever heard of the story of Bruiser Bob Sweetan.
Okay.
Beat up Jim Ross, kinda. You know, roughed him up, and then Denny Hodge came back from Japan and asked the promoter, I think it was Bill Watts, to put him in the ring with him, and stuck up for Jim Ross.
Oh, wow.
As he beat the crap out of him, out of Bruiser Bob Sweetan, who ended up being deported to Canada because he was a pedophile. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Bruiser Bob Sweetan.
I did not know that.
There's a lot of pedophiles in wrestling.
Oh, yeah. There's probably a lot we don't even know about.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot now. Every profession.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying it's just.
But there really are a lot.
Especially, I mean, it's not just the celebrity world. It seems to be prevalent.
Gosh, yeah. That guy needs it. Harvey Weinstein. What a scumbag.
Yes.
You'd have to have something to give them for a girl to have sex with that guy. No, really.
Yeah.
He's like disgusting. Like a walrus.
I just don't understand it.
Hey, I'm throwing them all out under the bus today, Dave. I don't know. You got me all riled up.
To me, there's two people you don't mess with: the elderly and the children. Like,
absolutely.
I have no tolerance for either one of those things.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I work at a school, and you see these things that happen. And I always tell Maria, man, if that ever happens in my school, don't worry, those kids are safe because I'll probably be the one that'd be gone because. I love the kids. That's why I'm at an elementary school.
Absolutely.
That's why I work there. You know what I mean? If you work at an elementary school and you don't like kids, you're at the wrong
You shouldn't
school,
be there.
dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. All right. So let's get into some more local guys. A guy that you brought up that I pretty much forgot all about, Sal Caperto.
Yes. Sal, longtime referee in New England for Killer Kowalski.
Yes.
For Mike Spotter in the WWA and then in big time wrestling.
Right.
Great referee. I think one of the most underrated referees in New England. I feel like because he kind of kept himself to specific places and didn't kind of go everywhere like a lot of the other referees did. I think that might be part of the reason why he doesn't get as much praise as some of the others do.
Right. Excellent rep though. Excellent rep. How about I don't know his last name, and I have him as a friend on Facebook, and I'm sorry, I apologize, but we are talking about you. Steve P. He works for Ring of Honor. He works for Beyond Wrestling. Really good ref.
I've only seen him. I think he was at that Beyond show we went to. That was my only opportunity to see him, but
excellent ref.
Excellent.
Another real good ref, Dave, is Gina. I'm sorry, I don't know Gina's last name. I'm more familiar with her when she worked for AG. When AG had his company, I don't know if he's going to be running again too. That might be something to ask him, right? So that was 01 New England.
Yes, that's right.
So
down-
Gina was a referee for that. Very good. I think, if I'm not mistaken, she's worked for Beyond also. Evolve, maybe.
Nice.
So
Yeah, you don't see females, especially
you don't see enough of them.
on the as referees on the independent scene. It's
there
rare.
really should be more.
I mean, even in the main wrestling scene, I mean, you never really saw female referees.
You know, we talked about older refs in the territory days, and we left out one. Was that Billy Red Shoes? Was it what?
Billy Red Lions.
Billy Red Lions. Okay. That's yeah.
I remember him.
Was
as
he
an
a ref too?
I remember him as an announcer.
Okay. Well, what about we got the guy around here?
Well, while he's talking about Billy's, just because I don't think you put him on the list, but Billy Silverman, who was also went on to WCW.
Right. Yeah.
Another ref from New England.
Yeah. Yeah. He was really, really good. How about a guy that wrestled a lot before he became a referee? Now he's a referee. T.J. Ritka.
Great guy.
I don't really know.
I haven't had a chance to see him referee.
Right.
I've seen him.
I mean,
wrestle.
I've heard he's a great guy. Don't get me wrong.
Probably haven't seen him in 20 years, to be honest with you.
Right. He was reffing for Brickhouse at the end.
Okay, yeah.
You know? Definitely would love to have you on the show someday, TJ. Really, you'd be a great guest.
I believe he was trained by Kyle Storm. And
Kyle and Matt.
Yes.
Nice. The Storm brothers. Good guys.
Yes, and Anthony Ruffo, I think, was the other.
Oh, nice. Rest in peace, Anthony. Great guy, too. Another great guy.
One of my favorites.
Definitely. How about, we'll go down the Rhode Island area, and Mr. Rich Bass. I know that's where he lives. He wrestles. Does he still do Chaotic?
He has not been back to Chaotic.
So what's
I'll
up
talk
with
to you about that off the air.
Okay, yeah.
I actually
Can't
just
wait.
found out about that the other day,
right.
but I don't want to bring it up on the air. But he's one that's been around for a long time.
Right.
He's been in a lot of places. Like you said, he did Chaotic most recently up until the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
Used to see him down in Rhode Island.
Right. And he manages sometimes too, the Cartel.
The Cartel. And I think that's when I first met him was in NEWA. I don't know if he was reffing or if he was managing then.
That was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I met you too.
Yes, absolutely.
I used to go to those shows.
You know.
How about there's a referee that's on an extended hiatus from the wrestling business. A guy by the name of Mike Crockett, who used to have my favorite podcast.
Had a great podcast. Was probably the best referee in New England. And I'm not taking away anything from anybody else.
Right.
But he was, he started back when I first kind of got involved in independent wrestling with Tony Rumble in the mid 90s in that area. I think he went to Kowalski School. You know, he knew a lot of those guys like Steve King, Johnny Rodeo.
Well, he was going to shows with those guys.
Yes.
You know?
But it was, just one of the best, when he was out there, he was all business. Quiet person when you meet him outside. He's quiet, very nice guy, but very quiet.
The first two referees that I noticed by going to shows, and they were both at Chaotic, it was Crockett and Fat Pants. Todd Sinclair. What a ref.
Yeah. And
seriously. And a huge Bruins fan. So you got that going for you too. Yeah.
And Fat Pants got to go from sitting in the front row at Chaotic shows every month to being the referee.
To being the senior referee.
Yes.
Even though Crockett was there longer.
Yep.
I heard that story too.
It was. And Fat Pants went from being this big guy to losing the weight and just did a great job.
And working for Ring of Honor. And I mean, honestly, a lot of the guys that came from here that ended up going to Ring of Honor, you would like to think that, Fat Pants Todd was putting in a good word for him.
Definitely had an influence.
I want to say he might have even been part of the booking team, dude. I don't know.
I know he did in Chaotic, so it would make sense that he would have gone on to do it there.
And a lot of his buddies ended up making it there, but not that they didn't deserve it.
No,
because they all deserved it.
I think him and Bobby Cruz kind of would help that New England.
Yeah, another good ring announcer. Not my favorite. Sorry, that's Rich.
Rich is always going to top that list.
Yeah. Sorry, Bobby Cruz.
I think Bobby's used to that by now.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he is, but he's good. There's no doubt about it. Bobby Cruz is a really, really good announcer.
He is.
I'd like to see Rich though doing the Ring of Honor shows.
It's
he does
still
the Beyond Limitless. I mean, he's everywhere.
He's everywhere except for the big time.
Yeah, and they're missing out.
They are.
They really are because he's just as good as anybody out there. Honestly,
and Rich,
there's a lot more female announcers now too.
There is
than ever.
It's just almost
know?
they're becoming more dominant than the men.
I don't like to put people down that are in the wrestling business unless you're a scumbag like the people we talked
Skunk.
about earlier, right? But I'm not a fan of Justin Roberts. I think Rich is way better than him. I do.
Oh, absolutely.
There's a guy that's got a great voice. He was better in the WWE because now they're letting him do whatever he wants.
Yes.
Okay? And it's a little ridiculous, some of these things. You know, I mean, we're not there to see Justin Roberts do ring announcing.
No.
But the way he announces some people, it's like he thinks we are. I don't know.
Yeah, that's another thing, much like the referees. The ring announcer's there. And yeah, he has to be a little bit of focus of the show because he's out there so much.
Right.
But you also can do it, even Rich knows, like, he'll get those Rich chants and he knows how to just kind of like, all right, time to move on.
Yeah. And again, I'm not trying to be like a big jerk, but like this guy's on national television. And Rich way better. I mean, granted, we might be biased, okay? Because we really, because we like Rich. Consider him a friend.
Yeah. I mean, Rich and I have known each other for 30 years now.
You went to his cookouts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I never got invited to a cookout.
Well, that was when to be fair, it wasn't just me. It was the entire chaotic roster at the time.
I'm just busting chops.
Just one of the nicest genuine guys you can meet.
And the best in the business.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Oh, just as good as anybody on television.
Oh, without a doubt.
If not better.
And I'd like to take this time to congratulate Rich. That weight loss journey he's been on, fantastic job. Keep it up. That's all I could say.
Isn't it incredible?
It's inspiring me because I started to put some weight back on since I started my new job. It's gotten even worse because I went from...
I like that you're not afraid to talk to me about it too, though. No, because I'm no judge. I'm not judgment. You know what I mean?
I'm not afraid to talk to everybody out here about, I mean, they can see.
Yep, I hear you.
And it's just, you gotta, you just gotta get yourself motivated because I went from doing a job where I was on my feet most of the day to now I'm sitting at a desk all day. So I'm not getting that extra. So I'm going to start getting back to the gym. I have the membership. I've been paying for it since way before the pandemic. So might as well use it.
Right. No, I hear you. And you don't have to kill yourself by working out either. You can just walk. Look at Rich.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sure, I don't know what else he's doing. I'm sure you
got to watch what you eat. I mean,
absolutely. But I mean, hey,
and that's where I struggle sometimes.
Well, yeah, me too, dude.
And at my job, they're bringing in cakes and candy and all this stuff constantly. And it's like, okay.
I work at a school. They do that nonstop, dude. It's like crazy. But Dave, I'm the type of guy that fluctuates. I honestly, I thought I put on 10 pounds from my last doctor's appointment. I had a doctor's appointment this past Wednesday, and I only put on 2 pounds.
See,
but it fluctuates. I'll lose 8, then I'll gain 5. I'll lose 2, then I'll gain 8. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and I'm like one of the worst eaters where I'll eat like a bird all day.
Okay.
And then after 8 o'clock, I want to eat everything. You know what I mean? And it's bad. Some days, like Maria's like, are you still eating? Because I've been eating since 8 o'clock and now it's 11. I should be sleeping.
Yes.
But instead, I'm still eating ice cream or whatever.
And then you're going to bed after that.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like the worst type of eating. That's the worst. I should be eating like that during the day and like a bird before I go to bed.
They say switch it up with I know now we're getting into diet advice here.
That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that, though.
But yeah, I mean, for me,
we're talking about one of my favorite guys, Rich, and all the weight he lost.
And for me, I mean, I went through that whole weight loss surgery and all that.
You still look good, Dave.
It's better than I was, absolutely. But I don't want to, as it starts to push up, you get scared of it going back to that because it's real easy for 10 pounds to go on, 20 pounds.
And you know what I noticed too? Because I told you, I've never been a real big drinker. I could take it or leave it. But I finally found a drink that, I used to tease Maria all the time and be like, how come? Like you watch a TV show and the guy goes right to the liquor.
Yes.
And I'm saying, I've never found a drink that I like, but I finally found one, Dave. My kids are going to laugh. The Blue Hawaiians.
Oh, you like those? I have had those. Bertucci's used to have those on their menu.
Dude, they're so good, but I'm like a wimp, dude. I get it all mixed up in the pouch.
Okay.
And then I add juice to it.
But that's better.
I can drink it quicker.
Yeah. But it is better to add, you're kind of watering it down a little bit at least.
But that's what I drank on the ride up. I brought a pouch with me on the ride up to Tesla.
Oh, wow.
That's why I got so drunk.
Yep, because you were drinking before
the whole ride. She's driving. I brought a cooler with ice, juice, the pouch.
Okay.
And then I had about 8 beers at the show. And
wow.
Tesla was great, though. Guys, Tesla was great.
Yeah, I
And-
saw some of the videos. And
Yeah, they're coming. Well, you didn't see my videos.
No.
You want to know what my videos were?
there was a video of you singing that I don't even know if you had out there when you went live at one point.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I probably
towards the
forgot
end of the
I
night.
was live. It
Yeah.
was singing. Oh, yeah. I'm
It was
not
towards the end of
very
the night,
good
but it was
singer.
just on, and we just
Yeah.
heard you singing for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, dude, it was really bad. I felt really bad for this one guy in front of me. I bumped him about 20 times. And I said, finally, after like the 20th, I said to him, I'd stop if I could. And I meant it.
Wow.
That's how drunk I was, dude. I mean, I
crazy.
swear to God, we got inside the building and I went right to beers because we got in there like
Yep.
7:00 and they were going down. No lie, dude. Like water. Maria says that's probably because they were half water, but no, they actually weren't because they came out, they were bottles
Okay.
and they pour them into a cup.
Oh, wow. So they weren't.
Yeah. So, I mean, but great show. Everybody wanted to sit and I was like, peace, guys. I left Maria with them. I'm out of here. I went to the front.
Nice.
And like I said, and bumped that guy about 20 times. He'll always remember me as that friggin' drunken fool behind me. He must have bumped me 20 times.
That's funny.
But hey, at least I did tell him the truth. I'd stop if I could.
You did
You
tell
know?
him the truth.
I
That's
did.
true.
Let's go
right.
back to the reps.
Absolutely.
How about a guy that we both like? We both have been talking to him a little bit recently. Zach Carter.
Oh, Zach is somebody
Great kid, man.
who broke into the business. He was probably about 14 to 15 years old when
Yeah,
he first
that's when I
started
met
out.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say this, and it's not anything I wouldn't say to Zach directly.
Yeah.
I think actually I spoke with him earlier today and was telling him we're going to be talking about referees when I
Right.
did this tonight. Zach had his moments where he'd be really good, and he'd have his times where he just didn't seem like he was into it, and he'd
Right.
be like really bad, like you just couldn't wait to get out there
Yep.
and get out. I think some of that was, he's since kind of given all that stuff up, but he was involved in, drugs and drinking, and
Yeah,
I don't want to get into all that here because
No, I was
nobody's
into all
business,
that too.
and I don't know
So.
if he really wanted me to mention too
Right,
much about
right.
that. So I'll leave it at that. We all know
Zach's
what
a good
happens.
dude.
We all have those
Yeah, we all
moments.
have vices, and
In fairness, just to be clear, he's given all of that up.
that's
And,
awesome.
so
That's awesome. He's a good kid.
and he seems to be getting back into wrestling.
Yeah.
And I know he's got. I don't even know if he's announced it yet, but he's got a show coming up in Rhode Island in November. So
Yeah, we
that's
definitely
something
got to
look
go
for.
to that, Dave.
That is,
I
yes, that is
definitely
my
would
plan.
like
I
to
told
go.
him I would definitely take that night off to
Yeah,
go
I'd
and
like to.
support it. I don't have all the details right
Yep.
now, so I'm sure once he announces it, you'll mention it.
Yeah, Zach, man, send me or Dave the info. I'll say it here. You know what I mean, Zach? You're a great guy.
It is going to be the Friday before Thanksgiving, so the week before
okay.
Thanksgiving.
All right. So yeah, Zach. So let us know. I definitely want to go down to that show. Like you said, I met Zach when he was just a kid.
Yeah,
You know, I remember meeting him and Dino.
That's right.
Different places. But I met Dino and Dollar D,
Dollar D.
and he was like friggin' 15 years old.
Dollar D was the kid that he used to have to, when he used to come to Maine, they used to have to put him under a mask because he was too young. That was when
around here they put him under a mask because he was so young. Like, honestly.
Maine, they had no choice
Oh, I'm
because
sure- right,
at the
right.
time they had the athletic commission,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't have been allowed on the show. So
Right. Then I don't see him for like 3 years. I'm standing at a show one time, and this big tall kid comes over and goes, "Hey, what's up, Leo?" I go, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "You don't remember me, huh?" I said, "No." He goes, "It's me, Dollar D." I went, "What?" I was like, "No."
That's
He's
crazy.
like, "Yeah, man, it's me." And it was him. It really was him. But yeah, Dino. Now he's a police officer or
good
a
for
state
him.
trooper or something.
Nice.
Doing well for himself.
That's awesome.
You're a good dude. I always remember that, man. I always was impressed with your wrestling. Little guy, Dollar D. You're awesome. Then he kept wrestling afterwards. I want to know what this name was. Remember,
I
he was
can't
in a
remember. I
tag
do remember
team,
he was in
remember?
that tag team, and I
Yeah,
can't
for
think of what.
NWA New England.
Yes.
Yeah. So Dino was a great guy,
Great
and
guy. Zach, and when I say that,
Yeah.
when he was on, he was great in the ring.
Right.
I think he had He was a kid. I mean, he had
yeah.
distractions going on.
Yep.
Probably sometimes was focused on what chick he was going to meet up with after the show.
Hey, priorities, right?
Exactly.
Zach?
I'm not blaming him for that at all.
Right.
Traveled with him many times to shows. A
Yeah.
bunch of us, and he was always there. And he sometimes was the most entertaining.
Right.
A lot of times I would drive, and he would sit in the passenger seat to stay awake because he was always one that one person that stayed awake in the car.
Yep, that's cool. Yeah, Zach, good guy. How about Red Rocher? Did we talk about him already?
We did not talk about him. I wasn't a big fan of his.
Okay. I know a few people aren't.
It was a lot of just, I didn't feel, I don't know. I just didn't think he was that good.
Okay.
He had a lot of him and I had some disagreements that were political
so there was,
discussion.
all right, yeah.
Not even about politicians, but I don't know. It's a lot. It's
all right.
It was over something super. We quelched it pretty quickly, but it did turn into like a
right.
And
you're not the first person though that has said to me that they were not a big fan of Red Rocher as a ref.
I personally just didn't think he was very good in the ring. Like,
all right.
I don't know what it was.
I don't think you're that bad of a ref.
I just don't know what it was. I just didn't think he was.
All right. You brought up somebody earlier that said we should definitely bring up, and that was the extreme official, Paul Richard.
Paul Richard, yep. In ECW was extreme. He started out with Walter Killer Kowalski. He was actually I believe the youngest referee in New England. He got some tryouts with the WWF at the time. Did a lot of things, before he went to ECW.
Very good ref.
Later became the New England promoter for ECW. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yep. Let's see. How about Jeremy Bell?
Jeremy's a guy I haven't got a chance to see a lot of his stuff either. Decent ref from the times I have seen him. Been impressed.
Nice.
Especially he's another one. It's funny, the referees seem to be getting back to it's not the small refs anymore. You seem to be getting the taller.
Yeah. And there's a couple of guys that I'm sorry, guys, I don't remember your names, that worked for Troop.
Yes.
And they're really good guys, and they're really good refs.
And I know there's going to be refs we totally forgot.
I feel really bad about it. I really do. Not that bad. No, I'm just kidding. I do feel bad. If I really know you and I'm forgetting you, you know what I mean? If you're a rep that we've never had a conversation, I mean, that's
a little different, I feel like.
Totally a little different. But you said you think the best rep in New England history is Kevin Quinn and Mike Crockett.
I would say Mike Crockett, Kevin Quinn probably currently, but I think Mike Crockett definitely edges him out.
All right. I'm going to tell you, I got a guy that takes better bumps than Crockett. Crockett is definitely one of my favorite officials, right? Kevin Quinn is too. All the guys we named, I think you're all good reps.
Absolutely.
But there's one guy who I think might be the best, and that would be referee Rich Lannon.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a name that...
Again, I've said it here before, and you didn't know it until I told you today, that I'm related to Rich. The mother of my older kids, that's her first cousin.
Oh, wow.
I've known Rich for almost 40 years.
Did you ever see him when he was refereeing?
Oh, yeah. Okay. And I never once asked him for anything. Imagine that.
That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That is.
I mean, all the stuff he's done, I never once said, hey, man, can you get me? Can I meet that guy? Never asked. I'd go to shows and say hi to him. That's about it. He wasn't my cousin. He was her cousin.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little different if you would have been my cousin, I probably would have asked him for everything. And my cousin probably would have disowned me because I would have asked him for everything.
Yes.
But Rich is like Crockett, is like Kevin Quinn, a great referee, and could bump really well.
That is true. I've seen him do that, especially in his chaotic days.
Yes, and I think sometimes Perry Saturn made him bump when he wasn't supposed to even.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, Rich with Killer Kowalski's IWF.
He went there to train to be a referee, and he had to do the training as a wrestler.
Yes.
Totally. And really good at it.
Very good,
And is going into Joe Bruin's New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Well deserved.
On the next one they have it. He was announced for last year.
Which, obviously, for obvious
reasons.
Right,
and obviously Joe's going to have it. You know what I mean? Don't just,
I think Joe's just waiting to get...
Oh, you've got to wait it all out, man, But I'll tell you, he deserves it.
Oh, without a doubt. If you're going to put somebody in there.
I mean, he ref all the Killer shows, all those IWF shows. Sometimes he was the only ref there.
Yeah.
He refereed Triple H's first match.
He did.
He refereed Triple H's last independent match.
Right in Billerica, Massachusetts.
And I bet you he did all because I don't think Triple H worked for anyone but Killer.
Don't, from what I recall, no, I don't.
Right? I was going to say, so really Rich probably was, who else used to ref for Killer?
I really wasn't going to the shows during that. It was 94, 95. Killer was still doing shows, but it was kind of that very tail end.
Okay.
And I remember Rich, for whatever reason, because then he went, Rich was kind of ref in other places too.
Right. Then he ended up at Chaotic for a long time.
Chaotic in the end. He was with the NWA New England for a while.
That's where I see them the most.
Chaotic.
when I moved back from South Boston
Yes.
and I started going to Chaotic when they were running Lowell. I'm sorry, they've been running Lowell forever.
The PAV.
No, not even before the PAV.
All that
when
other building.
The Elks.
The Elks.
The Elks by the bowling alley
Yes.
on the boulevard. I used to go there all the time. And again, I'd see him there. Wait, never ask for nothing. What a dummy. No, really, I mean, I'm sure you could have did something for me.
Yeah, he probably would have.
And he probably would have. Yeah.
But that's just you. You don't.
I don't ask for I don't ask for nothing. I still think I
it's
should
rare.
pay every wrestling show I go to. Sonny won't let me if I go with him. He's like, you're not paying. I'm like, but I feel like a moron. I got to pay. You don't have to pay anymore. I'm like, I still think I should pay for every show I go to. I don't care what Sonny says or anything. I'm a fan. I'm not in the wrestling business. So I should pay.
True. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I think you've done a lot for the wrestling business. And I think
Well,
that's
thanks, Steve.
kind
I
of the
appreciate that.
appreciation that people show. I mean, you're promoting shows here every week.
Right.
You're having people from the independent wrestling scene. You're on Facebook talking about it. You're always giving, everybody else props. So, I think they don't mind throwing you that freebie once in a while.
Yeah, well, thanks. I appreciate that. I do this because, I love independent
Yes.
wrestling, man. I mean, that's the only reason why I ended up doing that catering thing. I went to that show and I was like, this is incredible.
Yep.
And I knew it. I knew who Rob was. So I was like, click, took a picture, called him on Monday. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know when I went to that show. I didn't know when I went to that show that night that I was going to end up, asking the caterer and all that. I didn't do it until after I was there for about an hour. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
How can I be a part of something like this?
And you found your...
Dude, the other day, Maria asked me about how many different, big name guys that have probably eaten my food. I'd have to say hundreds.
A lot,
probably
yeah.
like 200, 300. I've fed a lot of wrestlers.
And everybody raves about it, myself included.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
I love to cook. I make a great sauce. You've
Great
tried
sauce,
it. I even sold the
meatballs.
chicken. Remember, I sold the chicken fingers out of my house.
Yeah,
I should do that again soon.
Definitely.
But
Wow.
Dave, you got anything you want to plug? Why don't you plug yourself on social media?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. Just look me up, David Fournier. Instagram, same thing. Pretty much it. I'm out there. You'll probably see me commenting on Leo's posts or somebody's posts.
Yeah, our friend Dan, who asks us for questions and then don't ask them.
I know Dan was kind of heartbroken
love
today.
Dan.
Facebook was down today, so he was having a tough day, I think.
Oh, was he?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm just teasing.
As we're taping this, Facebook was down.
Right.
And
I'm just teasing them.
Wow, we're out of time.
Only because I'm a talk show host and I've had to not ask questions. But I don't think I've ever asked someone for questions then not ask their questions.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Dave, thanks.
Thanks for having me, and thanks everyone for watching.
Peace. Hi, guys. I hope you're enjoying the show. Listen, I could use a little help to grow my YouTube channel. So if you could please like, share, and subscribe. That's most importantly, subscribe. Send me a direct message, and I'll give you a shout out here on the show. My YouTube channel is real simple. It's just my name, Leo Connors. Thanks in advance. Peace.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.